And guess what, bro? It's the next day and we are outside once again, pretty much in the exact same place as before. Let me just plug you in so you won't run out of battery so quick, so I can tell you stuff for longer. And yeah, I even got the book with me here, so yeah. Okay, so let's get into the third principle. Make it easy. Now, what does the author actually mean by make it easy? It's to literally, in like using common sense, it's to literally eliminate anything that stands in the way of doing the good habit. Eliminate anything that stands in the way of going to the gym. For me, it's usually eliminating eating a very big meal just before I get and work out. Usually when I eat my breakfast and then I go to the gym, when the breakfast is like quite large, when it has 1,000 calories, when it's like, let's say, a very big bowl of oatmeal, or when I make myself a bunch of eggs and sausages and like all of that like caloric dense stuff, when I feel full, then I go to the gym and I feel lethargic and I feel kind of tired already, and now I even have to like train, which makes the whole like situation much like harder. So to avoid that, I eliminate eating a very big meal whenever I'm going to the gym, or at least if I do eat a big meal, I just wait for a bit longer than usual so it all can digest, and then I can go to the gym. Also, if I can, I always try to eliminate working out in the afternoon, because I personally find that in this exact time, anywhere from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., I am the most unproductive in terms of like exerting force, like moving my body and stuff. This is most probably the worst time I can pick for myself to work out, so I avoid this time like period as much as I can every single day. So instead of that, I either work out pretty early in the morning, or I go just right before the gym closes, so at like 10 p.m. Also, I eliminate anything that stands in the way of me doing my stretching. As you can see, as you could see, I had a training mat, right? A yoga mat that it was there at all times. So I don't have anything that stands in the way of me doing my stretches whenever I am in my room, because the mat is already there. I just can grab a bottle of water and start my stretching. I don't have any issues with it, right? I don't have to prepare anything. I just go straight into my stretching routine. So you can apply the same principle in your life. If you feel more tired in the morning, or if you feel more tired in the afternoon, what you can do is create this little time block, just like I showed you on the calendar app. Put the working out table like later in the day, so you can have a much more effective workout, right? And another principle that the author speaks about is to use the 2-minute rule. Now, if you don't know yet what the 2-minute rule stands by, is pretty much whenever you feel like the task, like the activity that you're going to do is just a bit overwhelming, like it's too much for you right now, what you can do is literally limit the time that you're going to do this certain activity. Limit the hardness of the activity, make it so easy so it only takes you 2 minutes. So instead of reading 20 pages of a book, just like you were intended to do, instead of doing that, read only 3 pages of the book, which will take you like, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. Read only 5 pages of the book and you're done. I mean, reading 5 pages of the book is much better than reading none. It's funny because I used to actually use this more often when I was like maybe 13, 14. I was like quite young and I was only starting out to work out just at my home, doing very short but also quite intensive workouts. Just literally doing a few push-ups and a few pull-ups on this little fucking we had like a pull-up bar. It's a complete different pull-up bar than I have now. It was like you could just put it into the door frame, right? I remember it used to literally bend. One time I literally fell on my ass. I used to do just sets of push-ups and pull-ups for no longer than 10 or even just 5 minutes. I made my workouts so easy that there was no way for me to not do the workout. And just like I said again, it's much better to do only a 5-10 minute workout than to do nothing. So I think that this rule is mostly just applicable to people that are just starting out, because if you are more advanced into lifting and going to the gym, it's kind of pointless that if you go to the gym and you just do a 5-10 minute workout, it doesn't work like that. Like if you already go there, then at least put in an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But if you're just working out at home using minimal equipment, you're just starting out, you can use this rule, and I'm pretty sure that it will help you a lot. The next principle is make your habits automatic. Now, what does he exactly mean by that? Invest into some sort of technology, into a tech piece that will make doing your habits much easier to do, to track, to measure, like a smartwatch that I've bought myself. I actually got a smartwatch from my brother, and I used to use it whenever I was like tracking my steps during the day to burn as many calories as possible. When I was really trying to lose weight, right? What I did was I set myself a goal of walking at least like 15,000 steps a day. Sometimes I even got up to 20,000 a day. And because I had this like watch on my wrist, it made it much easier to like track it, because it all tracked for me. All I had to do is walk and sometimes look at my watch just out of curiosity. How many steps am I on now? What I use now, because I don't really use the watch now, what I use now is, let's say, a habit tracking app. It's on my phone, it's called Loop Habit Tracker. I can show you right now. I have a whole habit tracker. It's very simplistic. You don't need a big app for it, right? It's very simple. I have all of my habits that I do during the day planned out already for me to do. So yeah, I have work here, stretching, meditation. I always track my sleep. Maybe not always, but like, you know, I always try to at least put the information in here. Okay, how many hours of sleep I had this night? Yeah, the reading, how many grams of protein I ate today. Stuff like this, right? I used to use this app much more often back in the day. I don't really do it now, but for you it might be very, but for you it might be very productive to do so, because this is, I think, the best way to automate your habits, to keep a tracker, to have a piece of technology that makes it much easier to track. As you might already know, I use a workout tracking app, and it's called like Gym Workout or something like this. And I have all of my workouts planned out for me. The only thing that's left for me to do is to open the app and do my workouts. I automate my habits completely, so I don't have to think, right? I just can go straight into the activity that I want to do. So my best tip regarding this principle is to use some kind of like technology, like watches especially. Download a bunch of apps and just see which app is the best for you and for your specific like problem of what habit you want to track. Or if you want to have a whole like habit tracking app, which is what I recommended before, try to automate every single bit of your day to make it automatic. For my calorie tracking app, I use the app called Fitatu. For my day-to-day routine, I use the Google Calendar. For my habit tracking in itself, I use the Loop Habit Tracker. It's like many more things that you might also be able to use. Yeah, bro, this was the third principle. Let's move on to the fourth. Fuck, I can't speak English. The principle number 4, and it says make it satisfying to do. Now, he says to use positive reinforcement whenever you can. What that means is basically reward yourself for doing anything that is good, that takes you closer towards your desired goal. It's kind of funny, but I can give you this analogy. If you want to teach your little puppy to do a trick, if he does the thing that you wanted the puppy to do, then you give him a treat, and it's exactly the same way with you. I'm not saying that you're a puppy or something, but if you do something good, like you finish a gym session, if you decide to eat well today and you actually stick to your diet today, you do it, then you can buy yourself something nice. Use rewards, right? Just to keep yourself motivated and like happy of your achievements. What I used to do is literally just treat myself with like a bit of ice cream that like it never has that many calories. I don't know if you guys have it in like America or anywhere else in the world, but it's called like cactus. It's like a ice popsicle. It's really tasty. It does not have that many calories, so I think it's a pretty good way to like treat myself, to reward myself, right, for the hard work that I'm doing. Cactus. Love them. Another principle is to notice all of the benefits, notice the positives of avoiding the bad habits. So if you kind of want to, let's say, quit smoking, just for as an example, right? If you want to quit smoking, then research all of the bad things that happen when you smoke. And by learning all of this, it will automatically make it much more satisfying and easier to just not smoke, to put off the cigarettes, to fucking throw them away, because they're bullshit. Notice the positives of avoiding the activities that are sabotaging your progress. It's kind of like a part of your identity. If you start noticing the positives of avoiding something that is bad, if you start to feel joyful and kind of proud of, okay, I don't do it because it's haram, I don't fap because it's for fucking losers, I don't smoke because it's for fucking addicts. I'm not an addict, I'm not a degenerate. I take pride in my appearance and I don't do anything that is not making me progress in life. But in fitness, you can use it as you can start to feel joyful about counting every bit of your calories or not skipping any workouts of your week. To be honest, I really enjoy doing that. Like counting the calories and doing it so like precisely kind of gives me like a sense of meaning, like a sense of purpose, right? Or if I can see on the little habit tracker that I have every single training day of the week checked off, that I have not skipped any workout this week, it gives me a big sense of fulfillment. Whenever I avoid bad habits, I feel much better with who I am, and so should you. And another thing which he says in this book is to keep a habit streak. Now I've already spoke about this, like download an app where you can track all of your habits quite easily, like, and in one place, just to make it very like minimalistic and simple. And inside the habit tracking app, make sure to keep your streak of the habit alive for as long as fucking possible. And on the other hand, feel free to feel bad whenever the streak ends, whenever you actually indulge into the wrong thing, whenever you don't do your habit that day, whenever you've told yourself that, okay, from now on I won't skip any workouts, no more, but you skip your workout and the streak ends. Feel free when that happens. Feel free to feel quite bad about yourself, because that's exactly how you create this strong desire to keep the streak alive. Let me show you something actually. I think I still have like the data and stuff. Now I don't really track my workouts, I still do them, but I just don't track them. As you can see, I have like this little calendar stuff over here. Bro, look at this shit. I have not missed a workout for how long is that? Like a month? For 73 days straight. I literally went to the gym. 73 days straight, no fail. Every single day at the gym. For 1 to sometimes up to even 2.5 hours of pure working out. And you're still wondering why I look so good. It's because of this fucking hard and work and dedication. And by the way, it's not like the most optimal way to grow muscle if you're training every single day. We will speak on that a bit later. But just I wanted to show you this so you can like believe me that I am not about no fucking bullshitting, like bullshit mindset, right? If you want to achieve something, you have to work fucking hard on it. And another principle is to, in the habit streak, if you do miss a day and you feel quite bad about it, make sure that the next day you get right back at it, because there is, and it's like literally like scientifically proven, if you skip doing a habit for more than 2 days in a row, or just 2 days in a row, then it somehow becomes much harder to get back into doing the activity. So if you miss 1 day, make sure that the next day you get back at it full force, right? You make up for the day where you haven't done that habit. Always be on track. And it is like, I can speak from experience here. Whenever I don't feel like doing my meditation practice, and I fucking hell and I don't meditate for a day, then the next day it is quite easy to get back to it. But if I don't meditate today and tomorrow and for the next day, then somehow a whole week of time passes by and I have not done one meditation session. You get what I'm saying, right? And this wind is not helping me right now. But anyways, fuck it. And that's all for the consistency lesson, right? The lesson where you learn how to create the needed momentum to get to be more consistent in your training and diet and also any other thing in life that you want to be consistent in. I'm very sure that if you at least use 20% of all of the principles that I have laid down for you, it will be much easier to make consistency seem effortless. That's all for the consistency lesson. Let's see you in the intensity lesson.